There's plenty of people dying this minute. I would give anything to trade places with you. I know what I'm talking about.
I'm not so sure. At least they know they're done for. They don't have to sweat blood wondering if they are.
Your philosophy stinks, pal. We all know we're going to kick off someday. It's only a question of when.
That line, "your philosophy stinks," could have been the tagline for Detour. It's a story built on bad choices, worse timing, and the poisonous comfort of self-pity. Directed by Edgar G. Ulmer and released in 1945, Detour doesn't feel made, it feels like it simply appeared one night, thumbing a ride by the side of the highway. It clocks in at under 70 minutes and was shot on a shoestring, but its rear projection and threadbare sets only heighten the unease. Detour gets under your skin because it's one of the bleakest, bitterest noirs ever made. And at the heart of that bitterness is Al Roberts, a piano player turned drifter whose voiceover guides us through a narrative that may or may not be true. Now, Al doesn't just recount events, he rationalizes them. He wallows in them. The truth is almost beside the point. What matters is how Al sees himself, as a victim, as a patsy, as a man the world keeps punishing. And in noir, that kind of self-image is dangerous, because in this world, you don't just attract what happens, you attract what you think you deserve. Hello, I'm Shane, and this is Take 55, a channel for short essays about cinema. These aren't reviews, they're focused observations that aim to pick up on recurring motifs, odd textures, and emotional undercurrents that sometimes get missed. So if you've seen the film, maybe I can offer a new way of looking at it, and if you haven't, I hope you'll want to seek it out. In this series, we're looking at 10 noirs that are a little desperate, a little unhinged, and Detour is pure desperation on celluloid. It's not glamorous, it's not stylish, it's ugly and paranoid. But it captures something essential about noir, the way self-destruction can be written off, as if it's fate. The plot on the surface is simple. A down-on-his-luck piano player named Al Roberts hitchhikes his way from New York to California to join his girlfriend Sue. Along the way, things go wrong, very wrong. But unlike many noirs, Detour doesn't tease you with suspense or mystery. The narrator tells you almost immediately, he's not the hero. He's already lost. He's just letting us all know how it fell apart. Now, Al is played by Neal, and there's something oddly inert about his performance. You see, Al doesn't drive the story, he drifts through it. Things happen to him, or at least that's what he says. The entire film is framed as a voiceover monologue from Al, looking back at his downfall. But the question is, can we trust anything he tells us? Because this is a film narrated entirely by a man trying to justify his failures. He's a man trying to convince himself and us that nothing is ever his fault. But let's step back. The world of Detour increasingly feels like a place where optimism is punished. Al plays piano in a dingy club. He resents the patrons, resents himself, and loses the one person who seems to care about him. Sue, his girlfriend, decides to go to Hollywood to try her luck. Initially cynical of her chances, Al eventually follows, hitching west with almost no money. But that journey becomes the unraveling of whatever future he thought they might have together. On the road to California, Al is picked up by Charles Haskell Jr., a smooth-talking gambler nursing a few secrets. When Haskell suddenly dies in the car, Al panics. He's convinced no one will believe it was an accident, so he hides the body, and he takes Haskell's ID, money, and car. It's a desperate move, but he tells himself it's just temporary, just a way to reach Sue. What he doesn't realize is that Haskell had recently picked up another hitchhiker too, a volatile woman named Vera who recognizes the car immediately. And that's when things really start to spiral. And then, about halfway through the film, we meet Vera, played by Anne Savage in a performance that feels like it was constructed out of raw electricity. Now, Vera isn't a traditional femme fatale. She lets Al walk right into her trap, and from the second she enters the film, everything steadily tightens. She's the kind of person who talks like she's been wronged by the entire world, and she intends to return the favor. When Vera tells Al,
"Your philosophy stinks, pal,"
her voice cuts through his self-pity. She sees him clearly, and she says what the film itself seems to be saying. Your excuses, your worldview, your philosophy, well, they all stink. And this is where the theme comes in. You attract what you think you deserve. Despite his cool detachment at times, Al doesn't believe he's worth much. So when Vera shows up full of venom and contempt, he doesn't fight it. He falls right into step. Their relationship is less a power struggle than a slow mutual sinking. He never really resists her because on some level he must think this is what he deserves. And Vera sees that weakness in him immediately. And the hotel room they hold themselves up in becomes a kind of purgatory. But while Al stews in a morass of reflective resentment and regret, Vera begins to reassess the situation. She starts to view Al as an asset and is unencumbered by slight things such as morality and justice. Now, Ulmer shot the film in just a few days using minimal sets and foggy back projection to blur time and space. The story feels like it's being remembered or misremembered. And that's important. Because Al's version of events is, well, it's convenient. Every death is an accident. Every decision is made under pressure. And he's always the victim. But watch the film closely and you'll see moments where his choices, not just circumstance, seal his fate. Even the voiceover itself feels suspect. Al doesn't just narrate, he defends himself. He editorializes. He begs for sympathy. It's not a confession, it's damage control. What Detour does so effectively is strip away the glamour from Noir. There's not much charm here. The atmosphere is seedy, torn and frayed, claustrophobic, and ultimately deeply sad. Because at the heart of it, Al probably doesn't believe he deserves anything better. Not Sue, not redemption, not even freedom. And if that's what you believe, the world will eventually prove you right. Detour ends not with a twist, but with a shrug, a kind of grim inevitability. But the story was over long before it began, or at least that's what Al wants us to think. But maybe the truth is simpler. Maybe he just couldn't face his own bad choices, so he rewrote them. And that's what makes Detour so powerful. It's not about fate, it's about how we talk ourselves into believing that we never had a choice. Next time on Take 55, we step off the road and onto the stage with Sudden Fear from 1952, a noir where Joan Crawford turns the mechanics of drama into survival itself. If Detour is about rewriting failure, Sudden Fear is about taking control of the narrative before someone else writes your ending. If you liked this episode, please like the video, share it, subscribe to the channel, and stay with me for more downward spirals. This is Take 55, and that's a wrap. Thanks for watching.